Go away, that doesn't seem to be the message coming out of Kanpur right now because the rain is persistent, it is incessant, and as a result, no match or no game time since the morning. The pitter patter has continued. The umpires have taken stock of the situation, and as a result, we are exactly where we were yesterday. It was early stumps, and today it's early lunch.
Yeah, I think it's been, as Harshit has rightly pointed out, that it's been raining incessantly, since the morning of the day two of the second test between India and Bangladesh at the Green Park Stadium, and the rain obviously refuses to relent. And the players did come to the stadium for a while, but now it has been learned that both the teams have headed back to their hotel and they are waiting. And so far, even the host broadcaster also confirmed that they are waiting for any official update from the ground staff whether they would really have any play or not, going forward. Because as obviously, the early lunch has been taken, the super soppers are currently, doing trying their best to make sure that any play is possible. But then it may not really be the case if rain doesn't stop.
So that makes a point about super soppers. Now, let's try and tell you what exactly is that we saw and observed on the television screen. So we saw two super soppers. There's not been any added super soppers overnight. These are two super soppers we saw yesterday as well,
Yeah.
today also. But the one difference I could see today, as compared to tomorrow, the super soppers weren't just flying on the ground, but on the covers as well. Puddles of water formed to an extent that even you can't drain off the water from the cover as well. So as a result, the super soppers are even flying on the covers as well because of the water that has gathered on the surface of the covers as well. So that's how wet and damp conditions are at the Green Park Stadium in Kanpur. Sad because you may not have an international match over there for a conceivable amount of time. For the foreseeable future there may not
Yes.
be an international match, forget a test match. So it's bad memories, I would say, for both sets of players, for all the officials, for the broadcast, for the spectators in particular, who seem to be disappointed with there being no play or limited play yesterday and no play today. Yes, there is a turnout for today as well. However, all those fans that we saw inside the stadium as well had their umbrellas out, and the locals, well, they are a step ahead. They know. I was having a word with somebody who comes from Kanpur. There is one, in fact, in the background as well. There you see, that's Shubham Pandey with a big smile on his face as we take his name over here. So everyone, but I was talking about somebody else over there who
Yeah.
wanted to go watch the match yesterday, and it was interesting how things changed in Kanpur, because while I was on the call with him, he said no, it's nice and shiny over here, and it
Yeah.
doesn't stay too far away from the stadium. It's just about 8 to 10 minutes away. So he's like, it's nice and shiny here. How is it that it's raining over there?
Yeah.
I'll have to go check, because either you're giving me wrong information, or because I'm otherwise slated to go after the tea session. So but then the weather changed in 10 minutes time to an extent that even though he was about 5 to 10 minutes away from the stadium,
Yes.
it started raining in the entire city. So that's how the conditions are over there in Kanpur for today as well. Speaking of the same guy that I'm referring to over here, the locals over there, because they're cricket nuts, they're cricket buffs, they've been checking the weather just as much as we have been. And
Yes.
the locals over there as well aren't very excited about day two. Something that we pointed out yesterday as well, in terms of what to expect from the weather today. Exactly what it is turning out to be as well. The first sessions washed out. There was a close to 100% chance of rain throughout the day, and as fate would have it, it's exactly how it's turning out to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think even I read a comment when we did the post-day live yesterday that, immediately, there was after there was a downpour, well, the sun was out after a few minutes.
Yeah.
And then, by that time, they had actually called off the match. But then, digressing a bit from the topic, it hasn't really, been a good thing as far as the, for Green Park Stadium is concerned, because even to begin with, also, there were a couple of controversies, ahead of this all-important test match, which is a very, crucial part of the World Test Championship cycle. First of all, obviously, the balcony C stand wasn't completely ready. It was actually deemed unsafe and dangerous, and that's why just 1,700 out of the total 4,800 tickets were actually made for sale. And secondly, there were also issues with the some of the bulbs, in the floodlights, and that's where
Eight
I
of them?
think
Eight
eight
bulbs?
of them. Yeah, they were that's something, the number that was reported. So obviously, things haven't really been great as far as the stadium is concerned. And I think there's also a report also that did the rounds that some of the senior Indian players are also not
Also
happy
keen to
with the
play over
facilities
there.
at the stadium.
And we've done that story as well on Sports Day, but just telling you a bit more about it, because you look at the dilapidated state of the stadium right now. Clearly, it's nowhere close to state of the art or some of the better infrastructurally ready stadiums that you have in the country. So players also feel that Ikana not too far away. We can go to Ikana. Ikana is another place we can go to play matches over there. It's home to the Lucknow Super Giants. There's already a stadium coming up in Varanasi as well. That's in the works. The concept pictures, we were having a look at it yesterday. They really look something modern, something from the future. It's that futuristic, the design of the stadium. So the players feel that the Ikanas there, it's a new ground that just made its debut a couple of years back, hosted a couple of World Cup matches. Well, players feel we can play there. Why in Kanpur? Yes, Kanpur has that. Is one of the old stadiums in the country. That's one of the reasons. And maybe when UPCA was awarded this particular match, again they had no option but to host it at Green Park. Yes, the option of hosting it at Ikana was also there, but maybe they wanted this to be the
Yes.
farewell match over there. But plenty coming out of this Kanpur stadium, because there was an incident of a Bangladesh fan allegedly being beaten. Now he's made a U-turn about the dehydration bit as well. We'll give you a story or the very latest on that as well. But talking about what the players are up to right now, just to tell you how grave the situation over there in terms of the weather is, the players aren't even there at the stadium. They came, they went back, realized they're anyway going to be taking a good couple of hours to get things ready. The umpires also, the outfield so wet that they didn't come out of the balcony where they were standing. They were underneath a particular stand, and they watched on from that space only. They didn't even get to the ground. So yesterday we saw them get to the ground, try and see if certain areas are damp or certain areas are dry. They're trying to do their inspection bit. Today we didn't even see that happen. So to the naked eye, things are so wet in Kanpur right now at the Green Park Stadium that the umpires didn't even take to the field. So that's how things stand, and I'm afraid if we'll see any cricketing action today as well, because let's quickly give you what is it we know about the weather now. Light thunderstorms, as we saw yesterday as well. We told you till the third day the expectation is of light thunderstorms. Right now as well, light thunderstorms are expected today as well, which is why you see the downpour happening in Kanpur right now. But let's talk about percentages. What is it that we know in terms of percentage chance of there being rainfall? It's 50% right now, and even then we've not had any game time. Let's move forward. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, all the way till 4 o'clock, till 3 o'clock. In fact, you got an 80% chance. It reduces to 60% by 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
By 5, it's down to 40. And if even by then you don't have any game time, there's no point talking about how play can be extended till 6 o'clock as well. In fact, very much, till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, like we saw yesterday, because of the forecast, because of how heavy the showers were, you saw the day being called off. You could expect something similar to happen today.
And even more than likely, similar is expected tomorrow also. But then weather is likely to be a bit better in the second half of the day tomorrow.
So yeah, that's what we have in terms of the latest from Kanpur, the Green Park Stadium. Nothing really happening over there. So the players are at the hotel room, and they also await news. They're also probably just watching the television, just as the way that we are. Of course, they'll have other folks as well to give them the very latest what's happening on the ground. But it's going to take some time, and it's going to be a brief miracle, I would say, that you see any sort of game happen today, any sort of match time today, because the situation over there, the overcast conditions are such that it doesn't seem that you will be able to have the field ready for the players to take to it. So that's what we know about the Green Park Stadium. Expect us to return when we have more details about any sort of game time that's possible today. But for now, Siddharth and I will be taking your leave. To know when we're live next, you know what you have to do. Subscribe to Sports Today and do tap that bell. That's what you need to do. Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.